Can you hear me, my man?
Hey, yeah, but it's pretty quiet.
It's pretty quiet. Hold on, let me fix
no,
that.
no. Yeah, now it's better. Yeah.
All right, listen, we are currently live. Hold on. I'm gonna take you. Hold on. Okay. So, Alex, nice to have you here. Okay. Give me a second. I just got to get a couple things organized. Folks, Mr. Alexandr Misko, who is one of the most exciting people in the world who plays guitar, is with us today live. He is going to walk us through a composition of his, but I've got to do a little bit of sharing of the stream to make sure that we've got this going on all platforms. If you are watching, please tell us who you are and where you are while I get some of this technical stuff going. Alex, I'm going to bring you on in just a minute. There are a lot of things I can say about this young man. I met him, I think it was 3 years ago, maybe 2 years ago, at a concert by a gentleman that we both admire named John Gum. I am going to encourage you, and Alex would probably also encourage you to check John out. John is a great inspiration, not just to two of us, but many of us who play music. And that's where we met. He spent, I think, 7 hours on a train to come to the show, and he didn't book himself a hotel. So I told him that he should crash on the couch in my studio, and he did. And since then, we've got to meet and hang out and develop a friendship. The funny thing about Alex is he's a guitar master. But if you talk to him, until recently, he just graduated, he would tell you, well, I'm studying linguistics, which I think is kind of hilarious because if you look at his YouTube page, you'll understand. So I'm just sharing this to one last spot, and then we are going to be a go. Okay, boom. And now, time for you to see my face. Hello, folks. And now I am able to bring Alex on. Now, let's see, where are we? I'm going to stop that. Okay, so adding to the stream, Mr. Alexandr Misko.
Hey, everybody.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. And just let me know if that's okay. If I'm vertical, maybe I would go horizontal.
If you turn your phone, it'll give us a horizontal view.
Yeah, I think so. Let me just quickly do that. Oh, no.
So we are being there it goes. So we are joined by our very loyal audience, Miss Andrea and her son Max in Munich. My pop is also watching, and I should start by giving you a proper introduction. Alexandr is joining us from Russia. Now that is kind of a general term. Russia is massive. Is it Krasnodar? Is that how I say it, Alexandr? Krasnodar? Woo!
Yep, that's right.
I didn't think I was going to say that right.
Yeah, you still remember it.
Yeah. So Alexandr, fun fact, hates the cold. That's right. He's from one of the warmer parts of Russia, and he really, really despises the cold. So that's a fun thing that not everybody knows about him. So, Alexandr, let's get me in tune. What tuning are we in today?
Yeah, the tuning for this song is it's pretty weird, but I like it. It goes from the lowest string. It goes like
B. Okay. D. Ah, okay. All right.
D. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you're freezing up. What was the next one?
Sorry, F. Then F.
Okay.
And then A. That's pretty low.
All right, my guitar is not going to be happy with me, but we'll give it a go. Okay. And what's the?
Okay, then The third one is E.
Oh, goodness. So, kids, in case you were wondering, you can put guitars into different tunings, and that's exactly what we're going to do. When we're done with all this, the guitar is going to sound dramatically different from the way most people play it. Okay, E, I got it.
And then A.
Great. And?
B. Oh, what's going on? Yeah.
Did you say B or D? You're freezing up, bud. Alex, are you?
Do you mean the sixth one?
You're freezing up. Are you on your computer or on your phone?
On my phone, it should work better.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, we'll keep trying it. All right. Did you say D or?
I think
did you say D or B for the first string?
You're going great on my side. Yeah, I mean it's the sixth one.
Okay. All right. So to be clear, everybody, we are going from D to F. Oh, Alex, my guitar is mad at you.
Sorry.
To E. To A. All right, we're going to try this. All right, and this is how the guitar... Ooh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
That's very exciting.
But the funniest thing about this tuning... Yeah, but the funniest thing about this tuning, that just by playing the top 4 strings, you can have an A minor.
Uh-huh.
And then by adding the 5th string, you can have a F something.
That's
major.
Cool.
And then by adding the lowest string to the same chord, you have D something minor.
So
I'm not that good at knowing what those chords are, but you have 3 chords in one tuning with just open strings.
Well, yeah, that's the great way to explain it for anybody watching right now. So we've gone on over the show what a major chord is. We've talked about a major triad, and it is the 1st, 3rd, and 5th notes of a major scale. Alex has tuned this guitar very intelligently because depending on which strings he decides to play, he can have up to 3 different chords just from open strings. And that makes a lot of dynamic possibilities for what he's about to show you. Okay. Oh, and hello, Alicia from England. So glad you're here. All right. Well, Alex, I think the goal here was for you to show us play one of your songs, and this is from your most recent album, and this is also the title name, Late Passenger. Is that correct?
Yep, that's right.
Oh man, that's so exciting. Well, I am going to make you the big person on the screen. Hold on. Oh, nope, wrong. That's wrong. Wait, how do I do that? Sorry, guys, I'm learning. Okay, here's what I'm going to do, Alex. I'm going to remove myself from the stream for now and just let you play. Okay, can you play Late Passenger for us?
Of course. I'm going to play.
All right.
I'm going to be playing the section that we're going to be talking about, not the full song.
Fantastic. Well, you can give us a little bit more sugar if you want. You know, we got a little bit of time. It's up to you.
Okay.
All right. Here we go.
Can you hear me well? Okay, guys. I hope everybody can hear me well. And let me just put the camera in a better way. Yeah, I guess this way. I may be able to sit like this. Yeah, Late Passenger that we're going to be talking about.
Well, that was quite a show, my friend. Oh, sorry, I lost you. That was that was.
No, thank you. How is the signal?
This I think it's getting a little bit choppy for some reason. And you know, this is still relatively new technology. You're calling in all the way from Russia, so I imagine there might be some things going on there. But I think we got the gist of it. My friend Alicia says that it sounds dreamy. Andrea says it's cool, and we've got a friend from Indonesia who also says hello. So I'm pretty sure people liked it. Now, Alex, I have to tell you, I didn't do my homework for two reasons.
So great.
Number one, I couldn't download the file you gave me. And number two, I'm frankly not that good at playing guitar. But having said that, you just did a lot. I think everybody who's watching can see that that is not the standard way that most people play the guitar. If people have watched me play on the show, for the most part, you've seen me play with a guitar pick, and I'm strumming chords like this, right? Occasionally, I will finger pick with my right hand and do some movements with my left hand. And even more occasionally, even more rare, I will sometimes do some basic percussion on my guitar. You just managed to do, I think, 4 things at once. You played melody, you played the bass, you played percussion,
right,
and you also added harmonies. Is that a correct assessment?
Yeah, that's right. I would call the harmonies like a guitar. I mean, bass, guitar, then melody, and then drums.
You're like a one-man band.
Wow.
Yeah, look at that. We didn't steal that joke from Tommy Emmanuel. No, sir. Didn't happen.
Oh, yeah.
So Alex, if I could ask you, could you please break down the components of the song individually? What would you break down first?
Yeah, sure. And actually, this song is a great example of how the whole style, how the whole approach, this new modern approach of guitar playing works, because it's not my invention. Obviously, it's not like only me alone in the world who does this thing. There are lots of people because this genre is blossoming now at the moment. But basically, this song is a great example because the separation is very obvious. And I would start. I would start with the bass because bass is the foundation. And on a guitar, we have low strings, which are super fun and super nice for having bass parts. That's why the guitar is, in this case, is a little bit better than violin or some more high-pitched instruments because we have quite a range to choose from in terms of composing.
Okay.
So when it comes to bass, having my hand on top instead of playing in a regular fashion, just because I will be using the technique which is called hammer-on and pull-offs, or basically tapping. And tapping on a guitar means that you don't need to pluck any strings here with your fingers. You just need to use this hand and these nice fingers to tap on the strings, and they produce a note. And obviously I can tap anywhere.
What people should notice is very unique about what he's doing is Alex, in many cases for this song, is not playing where you see most guitarists playing. He is playing above. And Alex, I don't know if the sound broke out while you were explaining that. Why do you like to hit these hammer-ons and pull-offs from above as opposed to keeping your hand down here? Uh-oh, did we lose him? Alex, I don't know if you can hear me.
Can that's a great question. And I'm playing above because when you do it this way, you have more velocity. Oh.
Okay.
I can hear you perfectly.
Yeah, you said you have more velocity. What does that mean for our younger viewers?
Maybe I would call you again.
You know what? Yeah, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to remove you from the stream. Use the same link I sent you to come back in, okay?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but it's breaking up, bud.
Yeah, sounds good.
So I'm gonna remove you, and then you just come on back, okay?
Okay, sorry.
All right. All right, Alex is going to come right back. I want to talk about the point that he was clarifying. When we were talking about hammer-ons and pull-offs, which usually you might see me do like this. But he was saying that the reason that he likes to go overhand is that it allows him to get more velocity. That simply means more power. Okay, he's getting a lot more power out of his hammer-ons when he can go, look at how far my hand can travel or my finger can travel when I'm up here as compared to this way, right? Right? Like I would have to extend like that, which is very awkward and uncomfortable to try to execute a hammer-on with the same velocity that Alexandr is doing from above. So that's really, really neat. I hope when he gets back, we've got a bit more of a stable connection because it's really a magical experience to listen to him. I would encourage any of you, if you have some questions for Alex, to start writing them in the comments. And then maybe after Alex does his explanation of the lesson, we can get him to answer some of your questions. Okay? So I think he should be on any second now. Yeah, my guitar doesn't like that tuning at all. So again, we just watched one person execute 4 parts of a song at the same time, which is a really, really cool thing to behold. Hold on, I'm just trying to make sure that he's not. Alex might be writing me right now. That should be the same link. Oh, he's back. All right.
Okay, let me know if it's better now.
So far, so good. All right.
Yeah, that's nice.
So I just explained to everybody what more velocity means. I think you were trying to explain that you can really get a lot more power on these notes when you're going like this instead of going like this.
Yeah, sure.
Great.
And also another thing is that when you play like this, it's like it's more comfortable to tap more complicated constructions because it's not only about tapping one single note. You can tap up to, I don't know, 4 notes with every finger. So it's a little bit easier. And
okay.
But you don't want to hurt yourself because if there would be too much tension, then you can hurt your shoulder and things. So it's pretty important.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's pretty important to keep your elbow a little bit lower than usual, so you would never play like this. And at first, when people start practicing playing over the top, it always hurts a little bit, either here or maybe somewhere here. So it's also takes some time to build those muscles because we never really use them when we play guitar regularly.
So for the people watching, I want you to answer honestly. Did you ever think that it was possible to get an injury from playing guitar? I don't think most people think about that. Okay, cool. So that's how you're executing the bass part with the overhand tapping.
That's right.
Okay.
And let me play the bass part again so people would actually hear how it sounds on its own.
Great.
Okay, no sound, I mean no drums, no anything, just bass and one hand playing, so I can put this hand somewhere else, okay?
Okay.
So this is my bass part.
Okay.
Hey.
All right, so we've got 1 part out of 4. What's the next part that you want to explain?
Yeah, the next one is my guitar.
Okay.
Now it's time for guitar. And when I was composing this song, I was thinking what a guitar player should play on top of it. And I realized it could be something like something pretty typical for guitar, something very sustainy, and so it means that the notes are long and beautiful and dreamy, and at the same time I want to put some melodies in it because that's a guitar, and usually people expect having some melody coming out of the guitar. So that's what I composed.
By the way, in case anybody's wondering why the notes sound a little bit strange, Alex is using a few special effects on the sound to give it that very big and long-lasting tone. Okay, so we've covered the bass player's part, and we've covered the guitar player's part. Who's next?
Yeah, and I think now it's important to show how I combine them. Because it's easy to say this is the guitar and this is the bass, but when it comes to combining things, then it can be a little bit more difficult because I still have to play this guitar part over the top, and that's when I start to use these complicated shapes that I was talking before. Something like this. I'm just going to be playing one shape so you would see how it goes, and then I'm going to be playing the whole section. So it comes pretty weird. I also have to pick my strings with my pinky. Which is not super easy, but I mean, you can get used to it.
I believe you.
Yeah, so I'm not freezing, yeah? It's all cool.
No, you're good.
That's great. Okay, so this is my bass, just to show you. Here's my guitar.
Very cool. So we've seen the isolated bass part, we have seen the isolated guitar part, we have seen the guitar and the bass part played together, which is executed almost entirely by one hand. Now, what's the third part that you're going to show us?
Okay, the third part is the easiest one, I guess, and actually anybody who has a guitar can replicate that because it takes not too much of an effort. It's the drums on a guitar.
Sounds like the part for me. Okay, great.
It's the drums on the guitar. Or you would prefer to call it percussion, but it doesn't really matter. I think it's easier to understand as percussion, as drums. Yeah. Sorry.
As the drummer. It's the drummer. It's our drummer.
Yeah, it's the drummer. Yeah, and we're playing drums on the guitar because percussion is not that cool. It's drums. So yeah, and what do we have here? It's just because I was thinking that on top of the drums, I would also have to have another melody on top. Then I didn't want to make my drums overcomplicated. So that's why they're pretty simple. So for my drumming, I have my low sound, which is called kick drum, and it usually hits you right in the chest when you listen to it.
Oh, yeah. No, I felt that right here.
I use my wrist, this part of my wrist, and I'm not sure if it's visible, but I have a huge callus here from doing that over the years.
Oh my! And where do you create your bass drum sound? Is that from here, or is it from here, or do you do both?
Actually, you can do it anywhere on the guitar because the guitar is just a big wooden box, and this kind of a kick drum is basically a wrist hit, just a wrist hit, and it sounds everywhere. It sounds cool, but it just depends where it's more comfortable in this exact context. And for this exact song, I prefer to play it in a playing position. So just here, above the strings. Yeah, and you have this nice low thud.
Yeah.
And that's the low sound, super easy. And then I have my high sound, which is the opposite of this kick drum, and that's my snare. People call it snare, but you can call it click or whatever. And I just use my middle finger to do flick like this, and I hit my guitar here, the wooden side.
Ow!
Yeah, it can be it can be painful.
Kids, don't try this without adult supervision. I'm kidding. It didn't hurt that bad.
Yeah, but actually, you don't need to do it too hard, because like you don't want to break your nail, you don't want to break your finger, and you also don't want to break your guitar. So it's it doesn't have to be super aggressive.
Okay. Again,
and, now,
one of the reasons, folks, why these notes and these sounds are coming out so prominently from Alex's guitar as opposed to when I do it, is that he's got a really cool set of special effects that really bring that out. Sorry, continue, Alex.
Yeah, and just to quickly explain the effect, the main effect that you hear here is the reverb, which basically a long echo, and it means that if I do a hit on my guitar, it's just flying in the space, so it feels like I'm sitting in a cave. And you can see it even picks up my voice a little bit, just because there's a microphone inside of my guitar that's speaking everything that's what's going on around.
That's so cool.
Okay, so let me just fix the camera for a moment. Yeah, and when you combine this low sound and high sound, it already sounds pretty cool. It kind of sounds like very simple metronomish drums.
Okay.
And I think anybody can do that. But then I was thinking that it still sounds too metronomish. It doesn't sound like a real person would play it, because it's too boring for a real person.
Let me explain, let me clarify that for our younger viewers. I think we may have talked about a metronome in the past, but a metronome is a tool that musicians can use to set a standard time so that they can make sure that they're playing accurately for the selected tempo that they're playing. So what Alex, I believe, was just trying to clarify there is that if he just does boom, click, it's not exciting enough for him. So I'm guessing he's going to show us what he did to make it a bit more exciting.
Yeah, that's right. And just to make it a little bit more like a real human would play, I decided to add some shakers or scratches. And shakers are the instruments that produce some shika sound. It's it's basically, it's in the name of the instrument, and there can be lots of them, like African or Indian, doesn't matter. And basically they sound like this, or like this, or like this, or like this. A lot of ways. But for this exact song, because I still want to keep my hand around this position, I decided to use my nail on my thumb that I have for picking strings most of the time. But this time I'm going to be using it for percussion. And what I'm going to be doing, I'm doing some circular motions like this with my thumb, basically just scratching the wood on my guitar, which can be a weird technique as well, because not every person, I guess, scratches his guitar. But it can really give you some nice textures that otherwise cannot be achieved. So if I just put the circular motions in between my low sound and in between my high sound, I can get this kind of effect. So this is without scratches, without shakers. And this is my scratches. Which sounds a little bit more fun.
Yes, it does. It sounds a lot more fun. If I'm being perfectly honest with you, it sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah. So, and I think that's this simple drum pattern can be replicated by everybody, but it gets more complicated when we have to keep this drums on this hand, on my left hand in my case, and this hand should keep producing all this bass and guitar parts, which takes some time, I guess, to combine them together. But I don't remember. The song is too old, so I don't remember how I was practicing that. But I guess it wasn't that easy.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyways, it should be fun. So that's how it sounds. Here's my guitar and bass all together. And here's my drums.
That's fantastic. So,
thank you.
So now we have the bassist covered. We've got the guitarist covered. We've got the drummer covered. Who's left?
Yeah, and now we actually have to add singing on the voice. But
are you going to sing, Alex?
I can only rap, but it wouldn't be appropriate for this song.
Probably not.
So yeah, for this song, I wanted to have some melodic, beautiful singing, and there's a technique that can be applied for any stringed instrument, not only for guitar. You can play it on any string that you would put in between two sticks, and it's called harmonics, which are basically sounds like this. I don't know if you covered that in your previous shows or not.
We have not.
Yeah, but basically it just looks like I'm touching the string with my index finger, and there's a beautiful sound coming out. But in fact, I touch the special point that's in the middle of the string, just exactly in the middle, and I'm just touching it. I'm not even pressing, and I pluck it with my thumb on this side, so you can't see my thumb, so it looks like magic, but it's not. It's just a trick. So that's how it goes. I pluck it simultaneously with my thumb. Beautiful sounds. So the reason why I decided to use this exact sounds instead of any other notes is just because my hands are so busy playing all this stuff that there would be no way for me to fret any notes like this and play them regularly. There's no chance.
You'd be stuck. You'd be absolutely stuck.
And what
Alex, hold on 1 second. I just have to plug in my computer before it goes out.
Okay.
Hold on, give me a second. Shouldn't take me long.
I can play some beautiful music meanwhile.
That's great. Let's beautiful plugging in the guitar, the computer music. All right, we're back. Okay, focus, Mr. Misko. Okay, so you were explaining that what the harmonics allow you to do is it basically you have some free time with your left hand because you're left-handed, because that hand is taking care of the percussion, and you've got some free time to do some stuff with that. So can you play just the harmonic part?
Of course.
Standing alone.
Yeah, so that's the melody for this song. It goes like this.
Very cool. Now, how many notes is that exactly? I wasn't counting. Bum, 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 bum,
Not that many, I guess 5 or 6.
Yeah, some of them. It's not a lot.
Yeah, not a lot.
But
and there's a lot of space in between notes as well to make them ring.
Okay, so then let's put this all in the blender. Can we step by step add each piece that we discussed now?
Yeah, of course. And let me just show you from the very beginning. So that's my bass again. And for the bass, it should be pretty low and a little bit more rhythmical, just so it would sound like a real player would do, because bass players are not always like this. Yeah, sometimes it's something more complicated. So that's what I was trying to express. That's my bass. That's my guitar. That's my drums.
That was really, really, really cool.
Thank you so much.
Alex, may I ask you, what was the inspiration for that song?
Yeah, it's called Late Passenger, but it's not about me being late on the train or something. It's about the song itself, because that was the very first song that I composed after the release of my second album. So it was such a pity that this song didn't make it on this album because it was too late. So the song has had to wait for 2 more years to get ended up on my third album. So, but that's for the best, because it's I guess I started to play it better over the course of these years. So yeah, Late Passenger, just because it was late for my album.
Okay. That's a very I honestly thought it might be because you're always late for planes. That's
yeah, that could be too.
I was sure that was going to be it. But you're not always late for planes now, are you?
Yeah,
as far as I understand, you make a lot of your flights, don't you?
I'm trying my best. Yeah, I don't want to miss my own shows.
Well, man, that was just incredible. Folks, I cannot encourage you enough to watch my friend Alexander on YouTube. There are several things that are unique about him. It's not just the way that he plays guitar. I think he's a wonderful person. One of the things I love about Alexander's story is that he's one of the only people that I know who you can see him develop from nearly the beginning, right? How old were you when you started posting videos on YouTube?
I don't know. I guess it was like 15. Yeah, something around that.
About 15 years old. And how old are you now, Alexander?
I'm 22.
He's 22.
Super old.
So man. So for 7 years, he's been posting on YouTube. And even at the beginning, right? From where I stand, I think he's good. But you can watch this progression take place as he uploads week after week, month after month, year after year to where he is now. And it's really a testament to how hard of a worker he is. If you're a kid and you're watching this, or even if you're an adult and you're watching this, there are people who have musical talent. They're born with it. Okay. They've got that. And there might be a different talent. But if I know for a fact that Alex practices every day, and I know for a fact there are thousands and thousands and thousands of hours behind what he does. So I don't think that he would be as good as he is now. He'd probably still be a good guitar player, but if he didn't put in the work, I don't think he would be playing the way he is playing now. Alex, maybe you've got a different opinion on the matter.
Yeah, thank you so much for your kind words. Yeah, I mean, I don't even believe in like inborn talents or whatever. I mean, if there is something like an inborn talent, it's more like, I don't know, it's just a 5% boost to your just to the speed of learning that you have compared to other people. So it's not even noticeable, I guess. So I believe that you can achieve anything if you just, I don't know, if you just like what you're doing and if you're ready to put a lot of work in it, and that's it. And I wasn't even noticing. I still don't really notice how much time I put in it, because it's always about fun. Music is what gives me joy, what makes me happy, and you don't even notice how time flies when you play guitar or any other instrument or doing any other type of art or job or work. It doesn't matter.
I think that might be one of the most important things I've heard a master say, which is that you come at it from a place of fun, right? And it doesn't feel like you're working. And I think that's a great goal for any of us to have with what we do. If it doesn't feel like work, if you love it.
Yeah, and also I find it pretty important to mention that it's not like everybody should have to put like thousands of hours to be able to play some complicated stuff like this. It's totally unnecessary. I mean, just because I love something like this, I love challenge, I love going in complicated directions, but fun can be different for any people. Like, you can just strum 3 chords and sing some songs at the campfire meeting and be happy with that, and everybody would have fun and you would have fun, and that's totally enough. It doesn't mean that you have to become a professional. It's all about how you perceive it, I guess.
That's awesome, man. Well, Alexandr Misko, thank you very much. I don't know if he's got time, but I'm going to hop back. We're going to close this stream down. I'm going to do a podcast. This is what I do afterwards to sort of talk about what we did and why we did it. Alex, do you have a few minutes to chat about the background of this lesson today?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I would be happy.
So we're going to be back on live in about 5 minutes. I'm just going to make myself a coffee. And we're going to come on and have a chit chat.
Professional.
What? You can make a coffee too. I'd make you one, but you're simply not here. And okay. I don't think you drink coffee.
I love coffee.
Oh, do you? Okay. Well, folks, thank you for joining us. Alexandr, thank you for being here. It's a real pleasure to be able to watch a master at work.
Yeah, thank you so much, everybody, for watching.
You're the best, man. Peace.
Thank
you. All right, thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
Back in 5.